I have Martha the Wonder Dog in studio with me this afternoon. It's the first time I've brought Martha over to WFLA, and she's checked it out. She likes it very much. And we'll just wait for that first call. Hey, Martha, what do you think the first call is going to be about, huh? She doesn't care either. But nonetheless, the first call will be a great call. We know it will be. I sit here and, I went through the paper this morning, and I thought, my God, will they talk about this? No, will they talk about that? You never know what they're going to talk about. So we have no idea what they're going to talk about. We don't even know if they're going to talk. But we'll wait because we're very, very patient people. And we just love the first call of the day. The first call of the day is frequently an interesting one. It's almost always by somebody, a little bit spacey and dense. And, we have a little bit of fun with it. You have a little bit of fun with it. And it gives you something to do as you're sitting there trying to remember what were those phone numbers that he said. Glad you asked.
Hi, I heard that song, You Talk Too Much.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and I'd like to know where I can get a copy of it, because I have a neighbor back home that I'd like to send it to.
I don't know where you could get a copy of it. It's by Joe Jackson. It is old.
Joe Jackson. It's old, but boy...
Oh, it's old.
It hits the mark in this case. I have a neighbor who just talks about everybody and everything.
Probably your best shot at getting a copy of it would be to go into, a big record store, I don't know, like Peaches, if they even have Peaches around here, and look on those old rock and roll albums, the ones that have 15 or 20 different cuts on them by different artists. And because Joe Jackson is not exactly a biggie.
The name of it is You Talk Too Much?
You Talk Too Much.
Okay. I'm going
Very
to look
appropriate
for it.
song.
Enjoy your show.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Hey, Bob, what's up?
I don't know, Brad.
Hey, I don't think Jacob's for real. What do you think?
You don't think Jacob is for real?
No, I don't, because Bob...
I don't know. Most of the young girls in the Tampa Bay area seem to think he's for real.
I know, but that was pretty funny. But what I'm saying is, he's calling up, and he's supposed to be a Christian, and then he's calling girls whores, sluts, and boozers. I mean, that's just... that's going against his philosophy if he really is strong in the Christian faith.
But he sure didn't want to seem to talk to them, though.
I know it. I think he's a joke. What do you think, Bob?
Well, I don't know. Look at Jim Baker.
Well, I think
he says the same thing, too, but he didn't have any problem in rolling around in the old hay.
That's for sure. But he doesn't call anyone a whore and a slut. I mean, he's calling girls a whore and a slut on a talk show, and that was kind of rude of him to lay judgment on them, and then he's trying to act perfect to you, which is, that wasn't good either.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, Bob, well, you have a good Halloween.
Okay.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Sandy.
I'm dying to know how your dog turned out. Didn't you pick her up from dog training?
Yes, that's the other one, Sophie. I know it gets very confusing. Sophie is the Basset Hound. Martha is the Lhasa.
Oh, okay.
And Sophie came home last night from Obedience College. And I'm sorry to say that, like most fathers who send their daughters to college, she neither learned how to earn a living nor did she get a man.
Oh, no.
But she didn't come home pregnant.
No, well, good. Did you have an opportunity to try the commands and all that?
Oh, sure. We were there for about 2 hours with her last night, running up and down, the dirt road with a couple of other brain-damaged dogs that this poor dog trainer is trying to turn into fit beasts to keep around the house. Sophie is a marvelous, loving, kind, sweet Basset Hound who is not... I don't think it's that she's not intelligent. Sophie is the most stubborn animal you have ever encountered in your entire life. And only when you let it be known to Sophie that you will not tolerate any shenanigans under the sun, under the pain of death, will she do her thing. And then she does it perfectly.
And your wit and sarcasm don't even make a dent with her.
Nah, it doesn't no good at all.
Okay, well, 2 other questions.
Sure.
I know that what's his name, Paul Gonzalez and Dick Norman make public appearances. Do you ever do this?
Very rarely.
I'm dying to meet you.
Well, there are a couple of reasons for it. First of all, I don't really like to do it. But secondly, I also work 6 days a week, and that's quite enough. As a matter of fact, it's 1 day a week too much.
When will that go on this Saturday? I assume at some point you will...
Oh, that's really an interesting question. We discussed that this very week.
It's unfair. It is unfair. It's terrible. Okay.
It's unfair to the audience. That's what it's really unfair.
Oh, last question, and of course this is prying and nosy on my part, but since such personal things are discussed on your program, now that you've remarried, are you and Mary considering having a family?
No, we are not. I had a vasectomy a long, long time ago.
They're reversible.
Yeah, for mega dollars that insurance does not carry, and on top of that, it's a very painful operation.
I know. I have often thought, though, how having a child might change you. Truly.
Well, I don't think adoption is totally out of the question in my household, but I'm 42 years old.
I know you are, and I had my first child at 36.
And I'm grumpy, and I'm mean, and I'm selfish.
I know, and it's a dimension of life that you do not experience, and you have experienced so much of life, and it's just something that you will miss that is worth knowing about, and I just think you're so neat, and I also feel like it would have an impact on you that would be reflected in your show. I just feel that.
Oh, I'm sure it would have an impact, an impact on me that would be reflected in my show. No question about that.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I can find a child obedience school, I might consider it.
You might consider it. Okay.
Might
consider
good luck
with it. Thanks, Bob.
Bye-bye, Sandy. The Phantom from Valrico. Hello, Phantom.
Mr. Lassiter.
Yes.
The Phantom from Valrico.
Uh-huh.
I want you to behave yourself. I must go now because I collect salt and pepper shakers today.
You collect salt. Well, wait a second. Bob from Valrico has been known to collect salt and pepper shakers.
Oh, I am the Phantom. I must collect salt and pepper shakers today.
You know, it's really amazing, Phantom. I did cart up a song and a 1 in a zillion chance that you would call me. You have a theme song on this program, Phantom.
You behave yourself, Mr. Lassiter.
Okay, Phantom.
Goodbye.
Listen closely. Goes on forever. Oh, this is amazing because these people didn't know about this. I've got 2 more on the screen who also have theme songs. Let me see here. Let's go with this one. Nah, we'll go with the other one first. Okay, we'll just slap that in there. Okay, Harlow. Hi, you're on the air, WFLA.
Hello, Bob. Happy Halloween.
Happy
I want to
Halloween,
know,
Harlow.
why did Gorbachev pick December 7th?
I don't know, Harlow. What the hell? I don't know. He doesn't.
Why didn't he pick
confer with
Thanksgiving
me.
Day to come instead? He could have had a turkey dinner.
I don't know, Harlow.
But I'm saying it's a very bad date, Pearl Harbor Day. I mean, that's and what the Japanese did, they were having that peace thing before they came. They think so. I don't know. It's a very bad date, I think. You know, it was funny. One of your TalkNet shows last night, you know, about one something that Dara Wells, she had a couple of witches call up. And it was so funny. The first witch that called, all of a sudden the phone went dead, and she said all the other phone people are on the line, they were lost. Then she called again a little bit later, and again she lost the woman on the phone. And then a gentleman called and claimed he was a warlock. And then he got lost, but he claimed he dropped the phone by accident. And she was laughing about the witches and the warlock. So I wonder, is there any St. Petersburg or Tampa witches or warlocks listening this afternoon?
I don't know, Harlow. I really have no way of knowing.
So I wish you a happy Halloween. I guess you haven't got a theme song for me.
Harlow, you're wrong. Listen up, baby.
So purple people.
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no business cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more.
Don't talk now.
Just finish cleaning up your room. Let's see that dust out with the broom. Get all that garbage outside, or you don't go out Friday night.
Don't talk now.
You just put on your coat and hat and walk yourself to the laundry mat. And when you finish doing that, bring in the dog and put out the cat.
Don't talk back.
Don't you give me no dirty look. Your father, if he knows what's good, just tell your hood and put outside. You ain't got time to take a ride. Yakety yak,
Don't talk back.
yakety yak, yakety yak. Yakety yak, yakety yak. Yakety yak, yakety yak.
Mile, what do you think the odds are that you can get these people just this way? Rocky, what do you think your theme song is, Rock?
Good evening, but it sounds to me like you went to Zayre's or either Jay Byron's to the record discount and bought one of them black old coaster albums with all these black artists on it from the 1950s.
No, Rock, actually what I did is I went through the FM music library, and they have already gone to Zayre's and bought all of them.
My God, hey, look, I haven't called you in about 2 weeks.
I know.
Now, that means I ain't a chronic caller.
I've
heard people on your show.
Rocky, I said regular and or chronic.
Because I've heard people, hey, I call one host once a week.
I know, Rocky, you're very good.
And most people, I've heard Harlow on your show 3 times in a row.
Yakety yak, yakety yak.
You know, he on and on and on.
Yakety yak, yakety yak.
Hey, I ain't going to keep talking so you can give me that subliminal message over the airways. Everybody's going to say yakety yak, yakety yak.
No.
Yakety
Yakety yak is not your theme song. That's Harlow's theme song. I play the theme songs after the call, Rocky. What do you think yours is? I'm really excited about yours.
God,
yours is the most...
Who do I think it is?
I think yours is the most creative.
God, I hope it's something by the Stones. Is it the Rolling Stones?
No.
Oh, I'm depressed. Is it an English band?
Well...
Is it an English band?
No.
Is it a white band?
Well, I believe it's a white...
Is it Steppenwolf? Is it Jim Morrison and the Doors?
Are you ready, Rock?
Yeah.
There's a man in the funny papers we all know. He lives way back a long time ago. He don't eat nothing but a bear cat stew. Well, this cat's name is Alley-Oo. He got a chauffeur that's a genuine dinosaur. And he can knuckle your head before you count to 4. He got a big ugly club and a head full of hair. Like great big lions and grizzly bears. He's the toughest man there is alive. Wearing clothes from a wildcat's hide. He's the king of the jungle jive. Look at that caveman go. Right through the jungle, tearing limbs off of trees. Knocking great big monsters dead on their knees. The cats don't bug him 'cause they know better. 'Cause he's a mean motor scooter and a bad go-getter. He's the toughest man there is alive. Wears clothes from a wildcat's hide. He's the king of the jungle jive. Look at that caveman go. There he goes. Look at that caveman go. He sure is hip, ain't he? Like what's happening? He's too much.
What do you think, Rocky?
Right, Daddy.
I'm honored. I'm speechless, but I'm going to tell you something right now. You're on my mailing list.
Would you
You're
ever?
on my mailing list.
Is that like your hit list?
No, you're on my mailing list.
Oh.
Hey, I told you before that I was writing the White Lantern newsletter now, okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, let me tell you something. Do you really want it?
Yes, Rocky.
You got it, buddy. You're going to receive it.
I would be thrilled and
Every
honored.
subject. I don't care what you're talking about. You name it. You drill it in. You say it. You let the people talk about it. But I'm going to tell you something. You're on my mailing list. And you're going to get
your hit list.
No, I said you're on my mailing list.
Something like that.
You said you wanted to be on my mailing list.
Well, I do, Rocky.
Well, you're going to be on it whether you like it or not.
And the theme song doesn't offend you or bother you. Or you have no trouble with the theme song.
Hey, now you know what my theme song is. I told you many times what my theme song is. It's Jigsaw Puzzle.
Well, I appreciate that, Rocky, but I get to pick the theme songs here.
Hey, Jigsaw Puzzles is at the end of Beggar's Banquet. Beggar's Banquet was an album put out by the Rolling Stones in 1968. It's a masterpiece.
It's late 1968, too.
Yes, almost
Fall.
1969.
Right, one of my favorite albums.
Hey, it is my favorite. Hey,
It's the only decent Rolling Stone album ever.
what?
I said it's the only decent Rolling Stone album ever.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
I'm
What
not
are you
kidding
talking?
you.
What about Santana Majestic Request?
Oh, yuck,
What
man.
about 5 times 12?
Oh, yuck. The only album
What about Exile on Main
from
Street?
side to side, first groove to last, that is totally listenable by the Rolling Stones is Beggar's Banquet.
You gotta be
Working
kidding.
Class Girl.
What about Let It Bleed?
Oh, give me a break.
What's wrong with it?
Raunchy rock and roll, uninspired.
That ain't raunchy rock and roll. That is classic rhythm and blues.
It's raunchy rock and roll.
Rhythm and blues.
It's raunchy rock and roll,
I'll
uninspired.
tell you what. Hey, what about songs like Ruby Tuesday or As Tears Go By?
I didn't say that they didn't do anything else that was worthwhile, but if you want to talk about an album from
What about
side
Between
to
the Buttons?
side,
What
first
about
groove to
Aftermath?
last, it's got to be Beggar's Banquet. That's the
Beggar's
only
Banquet.
decent album.
Beggar's Banquet is the best album the Stones ever done. It's the best album that anybody's ever done. It's better than anything the Beatles ever put out. It's better than anything Led Zeppelin put out. It's better than
agree.
anything that Bon
I
Jovi
agree.
will ever think about putting out.
I agree.
It's
Beggar's
timeless.
Banquet's perhaps my favorite album of all time. But it's also the only decent, complete album the group has ever done.
It is not. I can prove it. Hey, oh my God, man, what are you talking about? They have released lots of albums. The worst one they ever put out was Black
crap.
and Blue. That was the worst album they ever put out. Worst song the Rolling Stones ever done was called Fool to Cry. That's when Ronnie Wood from Faces replaced Mick Taylor, and Mick Taylor replaced the late Brian Jones. And Brian Jones was the brains. He was the one that got the group together. Brian Jones.
Yeah, so what?
Well, what I'm trying to say is you're trying to come across as they only put out one good album.
Well, in my opinion, they did.
What do
That's
you
all
mean,
they
your
put out.
opinion? What
That's
about-
what I said.
What? Hey, let the tapes be the judge.
What do you mean let the tapes be the judge? Well, you know, you
I can
sound
sing
like
you.
Mona now.
Hey,
Talking in circles.
I got bootleg albums by the Stones live. I've got the only version of Roll Over Beethoven that the Stones ever done. You cannot buy it in any stores. This is live.
Who the hell would want to?
This was in France. I don't like it when somebody comes on here and starts cutting down on the Stones because they wrote the book on rock and roll as far as I'm concerned. Hey,
Well, this is about the only thing that Valrico, Bob, and I agree on.
What's that?
That the Stones' only decent album was Beggar's Banquet.
I never heard Valrico Bob say that.
Well, off the air he did.
Well, I tell you what, Valrico Bob, if you're listening out there, you go to the record shop and you check it out.
Well,
because, hey,
Rocky.
What about Let It Bleed? What about Let It Bleed?
Rocky.
What about Hey, the song Gimme Shelter, it was a masterpiece.
Rocky, Dan in Tampa says Led Zeppelin's better.
I wasn't going to call you, but I was listening to tell Rocky that Led Zeppelin blew away the Rolling Stones, not even close as far as musicians.
Hey, man, let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something, Rocky.
Let me tell you what
Rocky,
Wait, just a minute. Just a minute. Hey, just a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Will you listen to me a minute, boy?
Go ahead.
Look.
Boy.
Let me tell you, when a band is successful or an individual is successful, that's when other groups will emulate their music.
Rolling Stones are old music. Led Zeppelin reinvented rock and roll.
Led Zeppelin's music?
They reinvented rock and roll, Rocky.
Ask John Paul Jones.
John Paul Jones played with Rolling Stones before he was with Led Zeppelin. That's besides the point. Led Zeppelin
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, John Paul Jones will tell you that the Rolling Stones are on top of the mountain, and they're still on top of the mountain. John Lennon, Paul McCartney said the same thing.
Rocky, Dan, one second. Betsy, you settle it. The Stones or Led Zeppelin? How about it, Betsy?
Led Zeppelin.
Oh, God. Hey, this is bull crap. Hey, when the Whole Lotta Lovin' album come out in '69, that was good, all right, but they slid downhill. Queen took over. Queen was better than Led Zeppelin.
Queen?
That's right.
Queen? Come on, man.
Yes.
Led Zeppelin wrote the book of rock and roll.
Yes, it's better than Led Zeppelin.
Bob, I wonder if I could get a word in here.
Yes, it's better than Led Zeppelin.
From
Jimi Hendrix is better. Hey, Jimi Hendrix is better than Led Zeppelin.
Jimi Hendrix was fantastic. Better than Rolling Stones. Grand Funk was better than Rolling Stones. Grand Funk Railroad blew away Rolling Stones.
No, they did
The
not.
Cream blew away the Rolling
did
Stones.
not.
The Who blew away the Rolling Stones.
Hey, now
the Rolling Stones were the most overrated supergroup of all time.
Two. They're the number 2 band.
From 1970s, Rocky, Led Zeppelin broke all their attendance records, sold more albums than they did. They are legends in rock and roll in their own time.
Gentlemen, 1 second here. Elton says it's Amy Grant. Right, Elton?
Hey, how you doing?
Fine, Elton.
How you doing, Elton?
Amy Grant couldn't sweep the floor for the Stones.
Oh, my God. How many people you got on there?
4.
I want to talk to you about a little bit about Jake. I called him last night.
Yeah.
Remember yesterday I told you that I recognized his voice?
Right.
Well, I did call him, and it is true. It was the person that I thought was on your show so many times.
Oh, my God.
And I do take a little offense at your earlier caller when he thought he was not sincere. Jacob is a very, very sincere person, and I have an affection that I'd like to call him Jason. And Jacob, he's not a fly-by-night. I mean, he has a $200,000 home. He drives a 1986 Cartier edition Lincoln Town car. I mean, this man is really real.
Yeah, but where does he stand on the Stones, Amy Grant, Led Zeppelin?
Let me tell you something right now. Now, the song "Stairway to Heaven," that's real pretty and all that. But you compare it to Ruby Tuesday. You compare it to As Tears Go By. You compare it to She's a Rainbow. And
1964 music, Rocky. 1965.
Oh, my God.
You wait about it.
Really going on today.
I called on the line. I was here.
Rocky.
I was a guest of honor. I'm talking about the Stones, and I got some guy coming on here talking about Led Zeppelin.
That's right, Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin was good. Led Zeppelin is good, but the Rolling
Not only that,
Stones
but
are
goddamn, I'm talking about my lover of 3.5.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Jimmy Page compared to Keith Richards, come on. John Paul Jones compared to John, come on.
Very
John Bonham compared to Charlie Watts, please.
Hold on, just a minute.
Please.
I'll agree. I mean, listen. All right, I'm going to say this. It hurts my feelings to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Page is a better guitarist than Keith Richards. But so is Roy Buchanan.
Roy Buchanan, that's Jimmy Page's idol, yes.
All right, but let me tell you something. The Rolling Stones, when they first started out, basically it was 4 or 5 chords.
I know that. And they're still playing 4 or 5 chords.
Yeah, I know. But the thing about it is, it's not how good a guitarist you are; it's what you do with the guitar.
If you want to say that they were a great rock and roll band as far as rhythm and blues, great. But Led Zeppelin explored music. They took chances and they succeeded.
What about Brian Jones of the Stones?
They were better with Brian Jones. They were better with Brian Jones. They were better with Brian Jones. Much better with Brian.
Yes, that's.
And if we're talking bands, Rocky, if we're talking bands, I've got to say there's a band that's better than Led Zeppelin, better than anybody. That's the Beatles.
Well,
No.
Whoa,
They had too many novelty songs. The Beatles had too many novelty songs. I don't like novelty songs.
Guys, Charlie, what do you have to say about all of this?
Hey, Charlie Watts. Charlie Watts is the best drummer in the world, speaking of Charlie.
Charlie, where do you stand on all of this? Zeppelin or the Stones, Charlie?
The Stones.
Is Charlie there?
Stones are number one.
Charlie's not there. Charlie's not there. Well, there was somebody else that wanted in on this. The hell with him.
Why do you think Led Zeppelin quit?
Who hung up here?
I think they all hung up.
Split. Well, Rock, what can I say, man? What can I say?
Hey, I can send you tapes. I can send you tape of Stones music that you probably never heard. What about 2110 South Michigan Avenue?
Oh, Rocky.
What about
they made one good album, man. They made one good album. A couple of other singles that weren't too bad.
On,
but
mister. What about Gimme Shelter? What about Brown Sugar?
What about it, Rock?
Well, they're not on Beggar's Banquet.
I know that.
Well, are you trying to say that they only had one good album?
That's right, Rock.
It is not so. It is not so. They had a lot. All to do is go to the library and check some of theirs out.
Charlie, you want to get in on this or not?
Rocky, did you say Queen was better than Led Zeppelin?
Well, you got me upset and mad. I'll retract from that statement. I'll be honest about it. I think Led Zeppelin was one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time.
That's true.
But they're not as good as the Rolling Stones.
Oh, Rocky, come on.
Nobody can get down and quail and boogie like Jagger can.
Rocky,
he takes his voice and fuses it with Keith Richards' guitar riffs. Bill Wyman, the greatest guitar bass player that ever lived.
Great for a wax museum.
I said he's the greatest bass guitarist in the world.
Bill Wyman?
Bill Wyman.
I don't think so, Rocky.
He's bass player for the Rolling.
Kevin, where do you stand on this debate?
Well, if you really want to know the truth between the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin, has to be Zepp.
Oh, come on, man. Forget about the music. Look at the lyrics. Look at the lyrics.
Rocky.
The Rolling Stones were playing rock music when Led Zeppelin was rolling around in their cradle.
I don't know. I don't know. We've got Charlie and Kevin to say it's Zeppelin, man.
Led Zeppelin writes much more deeper music than the Stones did. They just play straight out rock and roll.
No, man. Hey, they just ain't got it.
Led Zeppelin was more detailed than Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones were just basic.
If you want to go to detail, let's talk about 10 years after.
If this, by the way, is a bit too much for you, Coles is talking about Reagan.
By the way, Rocky, congratulations on your Bork prediction.
I think he's in favor of him.
Well, yeah.
You were right. Bork didn't get nominated.
Yeah, but this new guy's got a lot better chance because he's a Jew. And that's what destroyed Bork to start with.
You want to make an early prediction this time?
Well, I thought we were talking about...
Well, let's get back to music.
I wasn't thinking.
Okay, that's what we was talking about.
Kind of got out of hand on me here.
I vote Led Zeppelin, Rocky. You're crazy.
I vote the Rolling Stones.
Well, they're back on rock and roll
this is bias. You're just doing this because you're prejudiced against me.
No, I'm not.
And the real facts ain't going to come out. I bet you...
The Rolling Stones... Come on, Rocky.
Hey, what's wrong with them?
Led Zeppelin
what's wrong with the
were much better musicians and writers and everything.
Are they bad? Are they a bad band? Don't they have any talent?
You just like their album covers.
Guys, one second here. Dave, what do you say? Dave?
What's the name?
Dave, what do you say? Where do you stand on all of this?
Well, I have to say that this guy really doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Which one? Which one?
Rocky.
Rocky?
Yeah, Rocky. I mean, who does this guy think he is?
3 Zeppelins to 1 Stones.
Oh, come on. Shoot.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with the gentleman who was talking about Zeppelin.
Hey, I'd rather go see Chuck Berry in concert than Led Zeppelin.
Oh, so would I. Well, I'd rather go see Chuck Berry than Mick Jagger or Keith Richards or any of them.
Hey, Keith Richards is one of the greatest guitarists that ever lived. Steve Howell is another great
guitarist. So whacked out on drugs every time he gets up.
Are you going to tell me Steve Howell is no good?
He's raunchy. You mean to tell me he's better than Page and Townsend
Not a chance.
Hey, Pete Townsend's one of the greatest guitarists in the world.
Absolutely.
He made
a guy who has the intelligence to be an editor for a major publisher has got to be on the ball.
Rocky, Keith Richards is not a great guitar player.
What do you mean he ain't a great guitar player?
They're raunchy. They're a raunchy band.
That's what I like. I like the hard, down rhythm and blues guitars.
That's your...
Led Zeppelin had too much orchestration.
That's great, but he's not the best guitar player in the world.
He had too much orchestration.
He's not... Rocky, that's great. You like him, but he's not the best guitar player in the world.
I'm not taking anything away from Led Zeppelin. I told you before that Led Zeppelin is a great band.
Bob? A lot different. Yes?
Can I talk to you and not these other two?
Which one are you?
Kevin from St. Pete.
Well, who do you vote for, Kevin? Where do you stand?
I've already said that
Well, say it again.
Zeppelin.
Oh, God.
Bob?
Oh, hey, Rocky, they're playing your theme song in the background.
Yeah.
Jigsaw puzzle.
Means I gotta go, Rock.
Well, it's nice talking to you. And
see you, Bob.
Hey, the Stones will... The Led Zeppelin will be forgotten about. The Stones will never die.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care. Kevin, hold on just a second here. I've got to take care of some business, and I'll come back and chat with you.
Okay.
Don't eat nothing but a bear cat stew. Well, this...
So I'll have to work on that one.
Because I drive for a wholesale florist
Pedal
company.
pushers.
Huh?
They're pedal pushers.
Well, that's not all they are. But one more thing.
Well, come on. That was pretty damn good off the top of my head.
Well, true.
What do you want, Kevin?
Oh, well.
Do you know what I blew yesterday? Yesterday, I came in here at 12 o'clock, and I laid two of the greatest lines that I've ever come up with, you know?
I heard that.
And it just went, boom, right over their head.
I heard that.
Raising the minimum.
It really was. Weren't you impressed?
Impressed with Captain Jack?
Well, when he came in the studio, I mean, he seemed to, you thought he was going to be a real bigot.
Difficult to be impressed with a man.
What he was talking about.
It's difficult to be impressed with a man who brings in dead fish wrapped in newspaper.
Did you?
Very difficult.
Did he get poisoned?
I don't know.
Well, that's what he said. He said somebody gave him...
If they're giving out hors d'oeuvres down in the lobby, I'm going to start hanging out in the lobby.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
If they're giving out hors d'oeuvres down in the lobby, I'm going to start hanging out down in the lobby. That's news to me.
Okay. One more thing. Ted Webb was supposed to find out, and now you're going to say, well, why didn't you call Ted Webb? Because I couldn't get to the phone. He was supposed to find out if there's any good haunted houses around for adults. Do you know, maybe?
No, I don't.
Well, then that's just about it, then.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
Nice to see you.
Be good.
Take care.
Next week, Largo. Hello, Betsy.
Happy Halloween, Bob.
Happy Halloween, Betsy.
I am going to dress up like Elvira tonight.
Great.
I've got a nice long black wig, a black slinky dress, and I'm going to give out candy to the kids.
Okay.
And I'm going to have me a ball, and you do the same.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 25 minutes for that. DB in Tampa. Hi, you're on the air at WFLA.
Happy Halloween to everybody out there, especially you, Bob.
Well, thank you, DB.
Yeah, there is one haunted house that I know about. It's up on Lazy Lane off of Dale Mabry Highway.
Lazy Lane off of Dale Mabry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's the Kiwanis or something like that. But anyway, I'd like to say that as much as I like the Stones and as much as I like Zeppelin, I have to say The Who is the best band ever.
The Who?
Yeah. With Tommy, the rock opera, and, and who got in the most... They were the ones who got in the best fist fights in the studio, you know? Them guys were the ones who destroyed the equipment the best on stage.
Hey, but what about the Strawberry Alarm Clock?
Well, what about the Strawberry Alarm Clock? What's that?
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, get off it. You're not... You don't sound that young.
I don't remember the Strawberry Alarm Clock.
Very, very, very obscure rock and roll band from the... probably latter 60s, maybe 66, 67, 68.
I remember Blue Cheer.
Blue Cheer?
Yeah.
Vaguely, I remember Blue Cheer. Very vaguely. It seems to me there was a Blue Cheer album in the studio, but I never played it. Marvy. I just love it. Oh, God, that would make me puke if I saw it.
It did me, and
Getting a little bit green just listening to a description of it.
Here we are, dubbing Marines up there in the White House, you know?
Well, I find the overwhelming majority of TV commercials for the military to be really sick. Really sick.
Yeah, they go after the guys who are just the radicals, you know?
I mean, I remember the good old days when, all you saw were pictures of sailors walking down the streets of Milan with, babes on their arms. That's cool. Join the world, see the Navy, whatever it might have been. But all of these electronic games and what you're telling me about.
It shocked me, man. I couldn't believe I was seeing that.
Bizarre.
First-time listener.
Great.
I've listened to you ever since you started on the program there. I wanted to talk about Jacob a little bit. I wonder what Jacob's going to be dressing up tonight as.
I don't know. It's possibly a ballerina. I'm not sure.
You know, I had that very thought in mind, especially after you had that caller yesterday.
There were several times when I thought that when Jacob was on the phone with me that he got up and did a pirouette, but I could be mistaken. I could be mistaken. I don't want to cast any aspersions.
Listen, Bob, I was wondering, I believe you said one time that radio hosts never really stay at one place for a long period of time.
No, that's not true. I said it quite the opposite way around. In this market, there's a very high turnover. In most markets, they stay forever.
Oh, is that right?
Uh-huh.
And which market is... Oh, this is the...
this is the very high turnover market.
The sort of like shock radio market.
Oh, good grief, no.
No.
Oh, no. No.
Well, I was thinking, if you...
Shock radio, Richard Shanks, Tim Coles, God.
Richard Shanks just kind of went up and then came back, didn't he? Kind of went up the scale, up the ladder, and then walked back down to talk radio.
Well, I wouldn't say walk back down to talk radio.
Slid back down.
I wouldn't say slid back down to talk radio.
Well, I was thinking maybe you could do like John Larroquette, is it?
Who's he?
The guy that plays on a television series, Night Court. The attorney.
Uh-huh. What do we do like him?
Well, he was a disc jockey for WRNO in New Orleans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he went straight to the top.
Oh, I have no desire to do either acting or to do this on TV. No desire at all. First of all, acting is incredibly hard work. I mean...
You mean hard in finding a job or hard in actual work?
Well, both. But when you find a job, it is really labor. I mean, you can't begin to believe until you've tried to do it.
Oh, don't tell me that. I'm thinking about doing it.
Well, go out and try to do some little theater. And if you can put up with that kind of grief, and if you can put up with that kind of pressure, and if you can put up with the boredom, then do it. Now, I have a lot of friends who are actors. A lot of friends. Some of them, most of them actually professionals.
Are they making any money? Well, I guess the professionals are.
Well,
what's a non-professional?
One that I know that's making the most money is, an actor who's also a carpenter.
Oh, geez.
He's the only one I know of who's in New York. Several have tried New York and have come back home.
Wonder what Lionel called in a while ago and said that he was asking you, why are you there on Saturday? Lionel calls in just about... I listen to you because I drive around a lot all day long. That's my job. Well, not driving, but anyway. And Lionel calls in a lot. And from what I understand, Lionel's a lawyer. Is that right?
That's what the rumor is, yeah.
Yeah. He must not have an office that's jam-packed. He's got time to hang on the phone for 30 minutes.
I believe he works out of a phone booth. Yeah, he works out of a phone booth right, it's close to the headquarters of an ambulance service.
I resemble that remark.
And he always keeps his car running.
Way to heaven.
With one of those little Jewish caps on top of his head?
That's Lionel.
That's Lionel, okay. He is Jewish, huh?
I don't know.
I thought one time, I think in your debate, Rocky called him a something Jew.
Well, what would Rocky know?
Yeah, well, that's true. I'm from the South, and I kind of go with some of Rocky's thoughts there, I get really upset. You had a guy that called in one time, and I tried to get through, and I had to wait so long. I happened to be at work, and I couldn't talk. So I had to hang up, but a guy from, I guess his name was John from Lutz. Not Tom from Lutz, but John.
Uh-huh.
And he complained that they're all beer-drinking couch potatoes.
Right.
Right. Well, I just wanted to let you know, in the tradition of the trade deficit, I am a sake-drinking couch potato.
Well, I'm a rum and coke drinking couch potato.
Oh, you are a couch potato. Oh, I wish I had this on tape.
Yeah, about the only thing that I can say for it is at least we don't burp as much in my house. But outside of that,
or let air out the other way.
Well, I won't get involved in that at all.
Okay. Listen, Bob, I really enjoy your show, and thanks for taking my call. And you have a happy Halloween.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, Bob. Bye-bye.
99 Blanco. Hi, you're on the air, WFLA.
Well, good afternoon, Bob. I'm glad to hear you. This is Elton from
Largo.
Devout Christian from
Largo.
Largo, yes. I would like to make... I told you yesterday that I thought that I recognized Jacob.
Yeah, you told us something earlier today, right?
Name for him. I like to call him Jason. And I talked with him last night, and definitely is the one that I thought that it was. And we were, and just to clarify things, I mean, just to put perspective in order, I did not like what a certain person said earlier in your show, right after you come on the air. Jacob and I were definitely lovers for 3.5 years, and I love him very dearly, and I haven't talked to him in some time, but last night I called him to find out if he was indeed the caller that was on your show. And one thing that I'd like to, Jacob is a very sincere person. I mean, there's no two ways about it. He's a little kinky in some ways. I mean, some of the flicks they really like are like Fridays. That's where
I don't really care what he likes. I don't really care what he likes.
Well, I call him Jason because he's
I don't really care what you call him.
Friday the 13th and
couldn't care less.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Like I said, I couldn't care less.
And Divine.
Doesn't seem to make a damn bit of difference to you, though, does it?
Have you ever seen any of Divine's movies?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Oh my God! Where have you lived? I mean,
many places.
Some of hers are really, really good.
Great. Hey, could I make a suggestion?
What's that?
Why don't you go to a Divine movie instead of listening to my show? Tampa, hi, you're on the air, WFLA.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing fine.
Incense and peppermints.
Incense and peppermints.
Come on, strawberry alarm clock.
Oh, I wouldn't have the vaguest idea. I just remember the name. I'm not even sure that I ever even heard.
It was the early 70s, I believe, like 1970. But anyway, rock and roll with the best times, you got to know, were definitely in the 70s, right? I think it finally has come that people can actually say that
68 to 72 would probably be my period.
72 would be the best. You're right. Brandy and Looking Glass, all that type of stuff, you know. But I think it has finally come into its own where you can...
Whatever happened to Quicksilver Messenger?
Quicksilver Messenger.
Fresh Air.
Have another hit. Remember that song?
Oh, yes,
what a great song.
Ooh.
Yes, the early 70s has beaten the 50s finally, where the bebop was hot.
Well, I don't know. It's beaten the 50s. I wouldn't go that far. The 50s music was very, very unique. 60s music was very, very unique.
To me, 50s music was fun.
Yeah, exactly.
70s music was major, major memories other than... you see, I'm not from the 50s. I listened to that music, but I think the memories must have been a little stronger in the 70s than it might have been in the 50s.
I mean, I was going through some of the stuff, putting this on cart, and there are all kinds of cuts that I came across that, frankly, I just can't find any particular use for, but nonetheless... Fun songs. Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini.
Yeah. Fun
the
songs.
Royal
I don't think the 70s had fun songs. I mean, Stairway to Heaven was not a fun song.
No, it wasn't. No.
You know, Nights in White Satin was not a fun song. And, you know, Bridge Over Troubled Waters was not a fun song. These are all the greatest hits of the 70s. But I guess, you know, there was definitely a solemn period in the early 70s. But the music was unbelievable, wouldn't you say?
Sure, it was unbelievable. You know, it's my music. That's my period.
Yeah, mine too, I guess. You know, I'm only 30 years old, so I guess my period is late 60s, early 70s. But anyway, I don't know. Let me just ask you one thing, and I'll run. I guess the question I missed was, did you ask what you thought was the best group in the history? Is that what the question was?
No, there wasn't any question at all. It's just that Rocky called, and I just started goofing on him.
Uh-huh.
And then somebody else called, and so I put him on the air, and then somebody else called, and I had 5 or 6 people on the air at the same time arguing over nothing.
Over just rock and roll.
Right.
How trivial can we be about rock and roll?
Hey, like I said when I started the show, you know, I don't have a hell of a lot of shame Monday through Friday, but I ain't got no shame on Saturday.
Listen,
no
rock
shame
and roll
at all.
Has definitely changed the course of history, wouldn't you say?
Changed the course of history? I don't know that I'd go quite that far.
I think that it's been a major influence in the way things have gone in the past 20 years.
I doubt that very much, but if that, makes you happy, that's cool.
I think so. I think that the music, the dollars that people have made in this type of business, over the dollars that people can make in other types of business, I think that has definitely made a big dent in the society.
Well, there weren't that many of them that made those kind of dollars.
Yeah, but I'd say most of them today do.
Not enough to change history.
Well, maybe not to change history, but to make a major contribution to history instead of being in the record books as just Beethoven, Bach, and Brahms, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's been they made a hell of a lot more money than they ever did, that's for sure.
Well, probably did. Thank you, Robert.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care.
One talked over the line, sweet Jesus. One talked over the line. Sitting downtown at a railway station. One talked over the line. Waiting for the train that goes home, sweet Mary. Hoping that the train is on time. Sitting downtown at a railway station. One talked over the line. Ooh, do you love me? I've been changing, as you can plainly see. I felt the joy and I learned about the pain that my mama said. If I should choose to make a part of me, would surely strike me dead. And now I'm one toed over the line, sweet Jesus, one toed over the line. Sitting downtown at a railway station, one toed over the line. Waiting for the train that goes home, sweet Mary, hoping that the train is on time. Sitting downtown at a railway station, one toed over the line.
Hey, but who am I to talk, huh? Ray from Tampa, hi, you're on the air at WFLA.
Mr. Lassiter.
Yes, Ray.
Pleasure chatting with you, sir. Two things. First of all, I've organized...
Most people usually like to wait until the end of the conversation to make that assessment, Ray.
No, that's fine, sir. Florida people, you know, I think it's a case of great minds thinking alike. And my pet peeve, and I had a kind of run-in with it the other day about Floridians, is these little old ladies on the tricycles. And I almost hit one the other day because she came out right out in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back and I told her she didn't belong on the road with that gadget. And she didn't have a license on it. And she kind of accused me of being a prevert and implying I was trying to pick her up or something.
Mm-hmm.
She was pretty attractive for a 85-year-old woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I almost made a citizen's arrest because, in fact, I want to raise the question, perhaps some other people know. Aren't those little old ladies on those tricycles supposed to have licenses?
Well, I think they're supposed to have reflectors.
No, but...
A little bit of debate as to where they should put them, but...
No, I mean an actual license.
I don't think so.
Oh, I take issue with that, perhaps. I raise the question.
Yes?
Well, that's my question.
Well, I gave you my answer. I don't think so.
Oh.
You said you do think so.
Have you encountered these little old ladies yet? Have you got one yet? I mean, by that...
No, my wife is about 9 years younger than me.
I'm sorry?
My wife is about 9 years younger than me.
What's that got to do with anything?
Well, you asked me if I'd gotten one yet.
Oh, that's very good, sir. I didn't get it at first there. Well, Bob, it's been fun. I guess I'll see you in church. That's all I can say now.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think I'm going out of my head.
In Tampa. Hi, Peggy. You're on the air at WFLA.
Hello, Bob.
Hi, Peggy.
I would like to agree with you. You have no shame.
None at all. None at all.
Saturday, absolutely despicable.
Right. I could be talking about Reagan or, reminiscing about vaudeville or maybe even challenging people to call in and name songs and we could sing along to
you know what else we could listen to. You know we have no choice. You know you've got the center stage. And what do you give us? Putrescent dreck.
Putrescent dreck? Putrescent dreck?
Yes.
Lionel, if you're out there,
At
call in
least
and tell me what this woman is saying.
a little sop once in a while. Some pithy, deep, philosophical viewpoint on...
Ah, come on. Some of this music has really been deep.
Huh?
Some of this music has really been deep, Peggy.
Yeah, but deep in what? I feel like I'm back in the...
Well, these are some of the greatest musical editorials ever done.
Ah. I'm sick of these people, these pitiful little people trying to be new characters on the show. I'm sick of Jacob. I'm sick of people with their silly little character type things. They aren't very good. They stink. Remember what you said?
I work with what I have to work with, Peggy.
You remember what you said when you started in this area? What you said, those beautiful words, a talk show host only reaps what he sows, and I intend to sow good material.
Oh, Peggy, if I ever said anything like that on the air, I must have been drunk. Give me a break. I
You're
doubt
drunk. I bought it. I said,
never said anything like that.
We've got a real intellect. Just occasionally, just once in a while, say something. You're lazy. That's what's happened to you. You're lazy. You don't have to study for this kind of stuff. You don't have to stay up nights writing these. Remember the long monologues. These well thought out, in-depth monologues.
Passé.
Passé. For whom? Not for me. I miss them.
I mean, that was before John Eastman, came to town. Somebody had to, cover his audience while he was looking for another job.
Excuses. You know this is easy. This is non-work.
You think this is easy?
I think you're coasting.
Coasting?
Yes, you don't have... who's going to query you on what you're talking about? Who's going to challenge you? You haven't said anything that anybody can pinpoint except that one thing. You have no shame. And I repeat, you have no shame. And I refuse to turn off to put the station and listen to Tim Coles and...
We've got to stand behind our president. Our president is wonderful.
I think we just got a line crossed here. I could have sworn I just heard Coles.
Okay, I shall be listening. I do not accept... Hey, what's happening?
The line is deteriorating rapidly, Peggy.
And so am I.
Ta.
Bye.
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no printing cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety-yak.
It is just a typical Saturday afternoon schmooze at the radio station right here in marvelous Tampa Bay. We love Saturday afternoons. The next call is going to be a knockout. What do you think it's going to be about, Mark? Huh? What do you think? Martha doesn't seem to care one way or the other. What the hell? It's not her career that's on the line. You think dog biscuits grow on trees, Martha? They don't. Dog biscuits are a direct result of good calls, Martha. I know that's a little difficult for you to comprehend, but it happens to be the truth. Nonetheless, let's see. Oh, my goodness, if an partner is starting to twinkle already, it should be fantastic. It'll probably be a call on some weighty, heavy topic, and, ooh, I tell you, I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it. Just talking on and on and on with my producer. Let me just chat there. Well, oh, my God. They're gone already. Oh, jeez, I guess I just wanted to talk to him. He doesn't get 26 cents or 27 cents a phone call. Only I do. He does it for free. Foolish young lad. Why do you want to talk to you people for free is beyond me. Oh, this next call is going to be dynamite. It will just lift the entire program onto a new plane. I know it will. I just know in my heart that it will. It'll be great. Lorraine, hi, you're on the air at WFLA.
Hello?
Yes, hello, Lorraine.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I told the producer that I wanted to talk about the obscene program.
The obscene program?
On Channel 22, at Telethon.
Obscenity on Channel 22?
Well, to me, it's a sort of obscenity.
What are they doing?
Oh, begging for money.
Begging for money?
Haven't you heard it lately?
Well, yes, I am aware of the fact that it's going on.
Oh, I just find it so disgusting.
I'm on top of everything, Lorraine.
I thought you were. So I just want to tell you that...
well, what in particular do you find
the way they
obscene about it?
Well, for one thing, they keep saying God is here talking to us, telling you to go to the phone.
Now, why the hell don't they ask God for money?
I thought about that. And then, they tell you don't hoard your money because God doesn't want you to hoard your money.
I was watching it this morning, and it was apparently a tape of last night's portion of the telethon, and they cut to the quote-unquote living room, and there was this portly young woman sitting there talking to God.
Oh, really?
Yes, and she was looking up at the ceiling. I actually It's amazing she didn't do some damage to her eyes because she was looking into the keg lights. But nonetheless, she was, chatting with God, and then God was talking back to her, and she was, answering, and it became obvious what God was saying to her. And God was saying to her that he wanted her to give back to the church all of the excess that he had given to her.
Oh.
And then the little spot ended, and it went back to good old Bob DeAndrea. And I'm sitting there thinking, what gall? What unmitigated gall? Here's a man with excess like you couldn't believe. I mean, he's got all kinds of fancy cars and expensive wristwatches, and he's trying to get little old ladies in tennis shoes out there to part with, anything over and above oatmeal money.
Well, to me, now, that's what I call obscene.
That is obscene.
Huh?
That is obscene.
Oh, I listen to it. My husband's trying to sleep, and I wake him up and say, you can't believe this. And then, let's see, it was a week ago Saturday, someone was preaching, and he kept saying, now, I know some of you scrimp and save, and if you got 1,000 or 1,200, God is telling you to go to the phone right now because we need that money. Now.
Well, I particularly liked it. I think it was Wednesday night that we were, checking in with it every now and then, and they were asking for $10,000, $50,000, $100,000.
Oh, they didn't. I didn't know they. It's
from one person.
It's been 1,000, and then.
Well, every now and then they, just really let loose.
167 a month for 6 months.
Well, every now and then they just let loose, and they'll stand there and say, "Gee, maybe there's somebody out there with $50,000, and maybe there's somebody out there with $100,000, and maybe there's somebody out there with a piece of property worth $100,000 that they would like to contribute."
The sad thing is that some people fall for this. And the ones who fall for
well, judging by their $450,000 as of last night, after a week's worth of begging, there aren't too many people that have parted with $50,000.
Well, no. They said, then they were sort of threatening us because we won't see our favorite programs next week if they don't get $1 million by Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm going to send them money so I can, watch Ernest Angley.
Oh, Ernest Angley.
Or that guy on the weekends who sits there and drones on in front of a big map with all of the communist countries painted in red.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
He's just, first of all, bears a very strong resistance to Dr. Paul Bearer, if you know who he is. And he sits there with his Bible prophecy just going on and on and on about the Russians are coming, it's right here in the good book, it's right here.
Oh, dear, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to watch that one.
Oh, it's great.
No, I watch that program for all the wrong reasons, but this is the worst, I really think. And then Molly gets up and heals people. Have you heard her heal people?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's it.
Which one's Molly?
That's his wife.
Oh, his wife heals people?
The black-haired woman.
Oh, I didn't know that. I had him here in studio, and I didn't realize that.
Yes, she gets up and she says, I see there's a mother. This mother's...
Oh, words of knowledge.
Yes.
Oh, great. I love words of knowledge.
And she says, I see a woman there, yes, her baby is crying, and she can't get him to stop. Well, your baby has severe stomach infection, but you put your hands on his tummy and say, Jesus is here and Jesus will forgive.
Right, and rub a little intensive care on his bottom and he'll stop crying too.
Or he had little colic. But some women are going to say the baby's going to stop crying. They're going to say, oh, she cured that baby. He had a terrible infection.
Well, better than trying to cure cancer over the air.
Well, they don't quite try that. Oh, they say it sometimes, though.
Well, if he wants to raise $1 million in a year, he's going to have to, branch out a little bit, go up to cancer, or at least, I don't know what.
They've done that. But
tuberculosis, something.
That's another long story. I won't go into it. Yeah, they have done that too. I take it back. Anyhow, I just wanted to tell you, get it off my chest.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Because my husband's getting tired of hearing me gripe about it.
Oh, I just love it. It's great entertainment.
Okay, thank you.
Where would we be without Christian television? I swear we'd have to watch wrestling.
Huh?
We'd have to watch wrestling for entertainment.
Uh-oh. I don't know which is worse.
Either do I.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Take care, Lorraine. 990. I'm in Ruskin. Hi, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello, Tim.
Hi. Bob.
Yeah.
There is a lot of people around here that are not as stupid as you think.
There are a lot of people around here that are not as stupid as I think.
Right.
Uh-huh.
There are... that lady had on yesterday, the good lady?
Decency lady, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep her on the news.
What's that?
Keep her on the news. Make her read the news.
On the news.
All
What do you mean, keep on the news?
Keep her reading the news.
Keep her reading the news?
Right.
I don't
What's her name again? She's the one that reading the news.
No,
Don't make everybody
she is not a woman who reads the news. That's not what she
is
does.
the lady that read the news.
No, she isn't.
Well, I would bet my bottom dollar.
How much you got, friend?
Enough.
How much you got?
Enough.
How much you got, Tim?
I have enough.
Got $1,000, Tim?
Yeah,
Would you like to know who it is, Tim? How soon can you be down here with $1,000, Tim? Because you just lost, baby.
No, she's the one.
Continuity writer.
But you putting her in a position, no.
It's the continuity writer. It's the lady who writes commercials, not the lady who reads news.
No, she's the one who reads it. The voice
No, it
is the
isn't,
one
baby.
who
You
reads
just lost $1,000. When are you going to pay up, Timmy? You blew it, baby.
You think so?
I know so. I know who it was.
No, I think it's you.
I don't give a damn what you think. I know who it was. You just lost $1,000. When the hell are you going to get it down
I'll buy you
here?
a drink. I'll buy you a drink.
I don't want a drink. I want my $1,000.
Have you ever watched a New York station with this guy?
Don't change the subject. When are you going to bring down my $1,000?
You could never convince me that is not the lady that reads the news.
Well, I'm sorry. You're wrong.
I'm sure, sir.
Well, you're wrong. I want my $1,000.
Okay, I'll bring it down to you.
Great. I'll be waiting for you. Blanche in Bradenton. Hi, you're on the air, WFLA.
Bob.
Yes.
Listen, I had something very disturbing to happen to me, and I just wondered if anybody out there could tell me what it means. I was laying there, and something just came to my bed. It was like a white thing. It just came to my bed, and no, this is real. And it said, get out of there. Like it was pulling my, like it wanted me to pull my body loose or something. And so I said, I finally, got enough nerve. I said, leave me alone. And when I said that, it turned around and rushed out. I said, who in the name of the Lord are you? And it just went right on out.
Didn't even answer you.
No.
Huh.
And I just wonder, because I have been very disturbed about it.
I don't know, Blanche. What do you think it was?
I really don't know unless it's I really don't know. I don't know what it's all about. But it really tore me up.
What did it look like again?
It was just like white, and it just floated in the air.
It was white and floating. Did it have form or shape?
Yeah, it was just like it was a cold white air with a kind of a round form with a long thing in the back of it.
Are they still running Casper the Ghost in this market? No. No, it couldn't have been Casper. No. I don't know. All sounds very strange to me.
Well, listen, I'm not trying to be funny or cute or anything. It really scared me to death.
Well.
And I was up the rest of the night.
Okay.
Okay, Bob.
Thank you, Blanche.
Bye-bye.
I wonder how many of you don't understand the significance of that phrase. Hey, like I said, no shame on Saturday. There is no call that is too funky, no call that is too bizarre, no call that is too, well, anything. There's just no call that is too, you fill in the blank. This is Saturday. We deal with what we have to deal with on Saturday. We'll also, of course, take questions about, begonias or, how to unclog your pipes, whatever it might be. Anything that would set your little heart to dancing, that is what we are here for. This is a public service to the Tampa Bay community. A public service. Many of you, of course, are sitting at home waiting for, Meals on Wheels to come by. You've got nothing better to do than to sit here and harass the poor SOB who has to come in and work on Saturday. That's okay. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Monday through Friday, I do get bent out of shape, but not on the weekends. Never, 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 never get bent out of shape on the weekends. We just love your calls. Ooh. Enough to give you shivers up and down your spine. I swear, I swear, I swear, I swear. Don?
So, anyway, well, I'm glad I got finally to talk to you, and just wanted to wish you a happy Halloween, and I know I don't count in your ratings. By the way, I want to know how those ratings work.
How do they work?
Well, how are they
compiled?
rate it? Where do they get their numbers? I mean, I know what the numbers...
Okay, well, there's a very large company. I'll be as brief as I can.
Okay.
There's a very large company called Arbitron, or actually, I guess it's ARB is the proper corporate name. And what they do is they select, through some type of mathematical formula, various different households throughout an area. In this particular case, it's primarily Pinellas and Hillsborough counties. And they send diaries, little books. Well, actually, first of all, they send them a letter and say, would you like to keep a diary? And if you say yes, then they send you the diary. And all they do is they ask you to write down what you listen to. Then they take them back and they tabulate them. And they weight them based upon how many people are in the area for a particular age group, let's say 18 to 34. They only had 2 diaries, let's say 18 to 34. But 12% of the population falls into that age group. So then they weight those 2 diaries. You understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in the 18 to 34 and 33.
Well, in an area, a metropolitan area of roughly 1.8 million people, as the Tampa Bay area is, they send out something in the neighborhood of 2,000 diaries. And take from that what amounts to an educated guess. But it's usually fairly accurate.
So, anyway, have a happy Halloween. Do you really dress up in the black bodysuit and...
Of course not.
No. You just sicked the basset hound on the kids.
Right.
Okay, that's why she went. It wasn't really an obedience school.
No, it was terror training.
Right.
Thanks, June.
Thank you.
Bye. It has been a great Saturday, too. I want to tell you some really interesting things. White things appearing over beds, dragging people out, and Betsy checked in to tell us she'd be going out to a party. Dressed as Elvira tonight. She waited 25 minutes for that, too. Lots of other interesting calls. Great debate. Oh, wow, what a great debate in the first hour between Rocky and seems like the rest of the world concerning whether the Stones or the Led Zeppelin were the best rock band of all times. It has just been a great, great, great Saturday. Really fantastic. We look forward to Saturdays ever so much. Let me give you the telephone numbers. The Van Ortner could be a little bit more twinkly as we speak. You know what I mean? Martha, did you really enjoy the first hour? Oh, hey, Martha. Hey, look, everybody's a kitty. Martha, I do the best I can, you know? Look, that's all I got to work with, Martha. Get out of here. Good. Everybody's a kitty. Yeah, you want Big Bear, too, you know? Anyway, where was I? We're waiting for the first call in the third hour. Now, as a general rule of thumb, the first call in the third hour is a great call. Now, we're waiting for it. We'll wait for it until the fourth hour. I don't care. To those of you who are, not regulars on a Saturday afternoon, I don't work on Saturday. I only sit here and take calls. Oh, there's one coming in now. This should be exciting. Oh, it's a female, too. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. Hey, let's see what this one brings us. Ann and Brandon, hi. You're on the air from WFLA. I think that was an editorial statement from Ann and Brandon. It appeared to me to be one of those very cheap, flimsy cuckoo clocks. You know, the kind of clocks that people who don't have any taste whatsoever buy and put up on their walls. And it just went cuckoo for about 10 seconds, and that is apparently Ann's, editorial statement on the program. I love people that call up and say, geez, all you have are crazy people on there. Hey, it's all I'm dealing with, you know? But nonetheless, we talked to everybody on Saturday. We have there are just no boundaries on Saturday. No boundaries at all. Several weeks ago, we had people calling from bars. It was great. I enjoyed that. No business like show business like no business. I know everything about it isn't feeling. No business like show business. Oh my, I wasn't looking. Look at that Van Ortner twinkle. Son of a gun. Oh, we're going to have some good ones now. I just know we are. Saturdays are strange days. People coming in from yard sales, all that kind of stuff. George in West Tampa. Hi, George. You're on the air at WFLA.
Hey, Bob, this is George Lato.
Yeah?
Hey, I'm sorry you're not getting any calls today. I guess everybody's out Christmas shopping early.
Oh, gee, had lots of calls the first 2 hours, George. Just a little slow getting the third hour going, yeah.
But you know, I got to work on Saturdays too.
Oh,
and it
bummer.
Gives you a defeatist attitude.
Yeah, it does. It does.
You just don't give a
you better believe it.
But I'm in retail, and I get like that too. I don't want to even hear any stories or, you know, just either buy it or don't.
Well, you know, hey, I feel pretty much the same way that somebody in retail feels on a Saturday. You know, I'm just going to stand there behind the counter with my arms folded. If you want to come up and buy it, then you come up and buy it. But I sure ain't going to go out and, you know, tug on your sleeve and bring you over to the cash register.
I know what you hate even worse than that is when I say, this is George from Tampa, and you say, hey, Bob, this is George from Tampa. You hate that.
Oh, I love it. It's become shtick.
I'm sure the producer already told you who it was.
St. Petersburg. Hi, Kathy. You're on the air at WFLA.
Bob, I just want to tell you that I'm very, very disappointed in you cutting down Channel 22 because I think they're doing a great job. And I just think that you're probably a faggot and have intercourse with your dog every night. Bye.
No, not my dog. No, not my dog at all. Jeez. Well, I guess she told me. Whoa. Since I'm a faggot, I probably have anal intercourse.
Into the air, like Chicoris and Stratosphere. Let's play the Gomar! Just looking into your eyes, darling, I can tell that you have the legs of a dancer. So bring those legs and the rest of your body over here, and be Nando's private friend. Darling, I got to tell you something. And I don't say this to everybody. You look
work over the weekend, and that's the only education program I can get besides that old hillbillies and all that other garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So you just keep up the good work, and that's what I want to hear, you know what I mean? Because you hear one song, you hear none. But you talk to millions of people, and I like the way you talk to them. I mean, you give them the honest answers.
Oh, yeah.
And everything the best you know how. But I want to know one thing.
Yeah?
How do you know all these things? If some person can ask you a question, bingo, you got it right out of the bag.
Well, that's because I have the talk show host's manual in front of me here on the desk.
Pardon?
I have the talk show host's manual right here in front. It has the answer to everything.
Well, I'm telling you, you're an educated person. Could I listen to you every weekend? Could I have to work every weekend? I work 8 hours a day, and I really enjoy your program. But I don't, like I say, I get tired of that there music all the time. This way is something different every 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So you keep up the good work there,
Okay, Crazy
I'm
Ray.
going 60 years old, so you just keep it up, and if anybody gives you any trouble, just come and see old Crazy Ray out here in East Tampa.
Did you used to be a WPLP listener?
Pardon?
Did you used to be a WPLP listener?
Yes, sir.
I thought so. Afternoon, William.
Listen, Bob, let me say one thing first.
So easy to spot those former PLP listeners. Just upon telling us how old they are.
You've got one of them. Welcome to WFLA, first of all.
Well, thank you.
And I must say that I think since you've been over to FLA, your programs are much better. Because I think you've got a better bunch of people to work with. Am I right on that?
You're quite right.
That's what I thought, because I denote a feeling of rapport there between all three of you guys on the weekly, during the week, and even on the weekend between you and Ted. Whereas there wasn't that much over in PLP. It seemed like everybody was out for his own over there. And that came across that way. At least on a listening standpoint anyway. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the state of radio as it is today.
Yeah, you could be right.
Yeah.
And secondly, I'm sitting in Rocky's backyard right now over on Brightwaters Boulevard in Snell Island.
Yeah.
And
Snell Island? Rocky lives in Snell Island?
Yeah, over on Brightwaters.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Birds and everything in the back? Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. They got a bunch of parrots and different birds.
Uh-huh. He's a rare bird himself.
Yeah, that's true. But you haven't tallied up who won the thing?
No, I don't really think it was Bob from Valrico.
Sure sounded like him.
Well, it all depends. Let's see on Monday when he calls Norman how distraught he is at having his theme song being the Cool Jerk.
Well, that could be.
Yeah.
Anyway, he didn't mention Sticky Fingers, which he has right now. He's drinking a drink that Southerners don't normally refer to, but he's drinking a Long Island iced tea with
Rocky?
moonshine.
A Long Island iced tea made with moonshine. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, what a guy. What a guy.
Anyway, I appreciate your show. It's good.
Thank you, Steve.
Take care.
My pet peeve is people who call penises by cutesy names. You know, you got your wee-wee, you got your pee-pee, you got your ducky doodle.
Don't forget Mr. Snake.
You got your wiener, your Peter, your Mr. Mike, your Beast, your Big John, and my favorite, Whistle. I mean, I've met some pretty entertaining penises in my life.
Really?
I've yet to meet one that would whistle.
Outrageous, controversial, and entertaining conversations. Bob Lassiter, weekday afternoons, noon to 4 on 970 WFLA.
What do you want?
You've made me so unhappy today.
Oh, no.
Well, just talk about something nice for a change. Please?
Okay.
You talk too much, you worry me to death. You talk too much, you even worry my pet. You just talk too much. You talk about people that you don't know. You talk about people wherever you go. You just talk too much. You talk about people that you never seen. You talk about people you can make me scream. You just talk too much.
Monday again at noon. Till then, what else? Behave yourselves, huh? Hell, let's do it. Lionel, hi, you're on the air at WFLA.
Bobby boy.
Yes, Lionel, baby.
What are you doing working on Saturdays?
What am I doing working on Saturdays? What kind of a dumb question is that?
Isn't this the Sabbath or something? I mean, my gosh.
Well, I have considered converting, but, I don't know whether or not it'll fly. Maybe then they'll make me work Sundays, which would be worse.
What is the theme you're doing today?
Well, what makes you so sure you've got a theme song, Lionel?
I don't know. I heard Rocky. I heard.
Some people have theme songs. Some people don't have theme songs. You may or you may not.
Can I make a suggestion for Rocky's theme song?
Rocky's theme song is cast in stone.
How about James Brown, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud?
No. That's Loretta's. Rocky's theme song is Alley-Oop.
That's cute. I heard this today. What, I don't have a song? I mean, a theme song?
Maybe you do, Lionel. You know, theme songs basically come at the end of the call.
Oh, the end of the call.
Right.
Has anybody called him about Ginsburg yet?
Ginsburg? Which Ginsburg?
The new nominee.
Well,
or appointee, whatever.
Rocky and one of the callers started to debate it in between the Zeppelin-Stones debate, but they quickly got off of it.
You've got the slowest listening audience. Aren't they paying attention to what's going on here in this world?
The slowest listening? What do you mean? This is a hip audience, man. I mean, didn't you hear that debate? I mean, we had, Heart? No, Queen, yeah. Queen, Zeppelin, and the Stones, and the Monkees.
Well, he's a master debater, so, that's neither here nor there. But, this is it. Does anybody care what's going on in the world? I mean, I know you guys get into penis. I couldn't believe that show, though, I got to tell you.
Well, I heard you call in 3 times trying to disguise your voice.
Right. Sure. And the classic line you made was, give me a yardstick. That was cute. That was really cute. Does Webb think of these things late at night? Vagina size?
I don't know when he thinks about it. I think he thinks about it constantly, actually.
I mean, I couldn't believe the number of calls that came in about vagina size. It was incredible. I've been thinking, what a country we live in.
Well, it's a topic that's on many people's minds.
Sure. And I'm sure Ted is always walking around saying, my gosh, I'm not sure whether I have the ultimate decision yet and whether a tight vagina is better than one like the Grand Canyon. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Well, I walk around with a yardstick. He walks around with calipers.
Sure, micrometer calipers.
Right.
Well, listen, as this seems to get to the end of my call, don't I have a song?
Lionel, listen very, very closely.
I am.
I smell smoke in the auditorium. Charlie Brown, he's a clown. Charlie Brown, he's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
What do you think, Lionel?
Charlie Brown?
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Now that's poignant. That's poignant.
I liked it, yeah.
What did you do? Did you go through the plethora of songs kept in the WFLA song library?
You wouldn't believe that library. You
It must
would
have
not
taken
believe it. We have and I'm not kidding, we have the world's largest collection of artists such as Dean Martin, Mitch Miller, Tony Bennett and Perry Como, and Wayne Newton. I will say most of the Wayne Newton records are still in the original cellophane.
Do you have a Wayne Newton Does Inagata Davida?
I don't know, Lionel.
I've got a copy of that. You might want to hear it. It's really great. Before his voice changed, it was really hip. Anyway, Bobby, listen, seriously, I mean, all kidding aside, I mean, I never thought I'd ever say I want some more plant shows, but don't you people work long enough? I mean, is it me or what? I mean, Saturdays, it's like, what? Don't you people have lives, you know, things to do? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the weekend lineup. It's cute, but and I never thought I'd ever
But
be
you
wanting
missed the
to
plant show. Well, okay, what is your question on begonias, and I'll do the best I can with it, Lionel.
Well, I've got this root fern problem that's not clearing up. I've worn a long coat, and people still notice.
Have you considered putting mineral ice on it?
Mineral, sure. Cool and blue. Well, listen, Bobby, what are you going to be tonight for trick or treat? Are you going to dress up as anybody?
What do you think I'm going to tell so that when I come to people's doors, they'll know it's me? You don't tell in advance what you're going to be.
What about like a Friar Tuck or somebody?
Well, I still have this old tiger costume that I've had for years. It's got a cute little tail on the back and then little ears. And
Tell me, are you and your lovely lady going to check out Guavaween by any chance tonight?
It's a possibility.
That's a hip thing, if you've ever been there before. You ever tried that?
No.
Tremendous
Never even
parade.
heard of it until this year.
It's a great parade, and then they have the Artists and Writers Ball afterwards, which is really strange.
Well, you know, Lionel, basically, I've never come over to Guavaween because normally, as you know, I live in St. Petersburg, and normally we go down to the pier and take part in the Bobbing for Apples contest. It's not fair since we still have our own teeth, but nonetheless, we win every year.
Well, that's great, but just don't ever do like Ted does and play bobbing for French fries, which he did one time, which is a long story.
Oh, my God.
But seriously, for all you people, all you shut-ins listening to this show, Guavaween's pretty hip. I mean, now I'm not sure about the beer concession problem. Remember that the big brouhaha in Tampa about beer at the...
A brouhaha?
Sure.
Uh-huh.
I know that's a tough word. I know Rocky right now is running to his Funkin' Wagner wondering what the hell brouhaha means. By the way, is he a chronic caller?
Rocky? No, Rocky's not a chronic. He's just a regular.
He's a regular caller.
A regular.
He's irregular. Well, anyway, listen.
Like Jacob, he's a chronic.
Anyway, I'm putting razor blades in apples right now. I've got a few more to go. I'm putting rocks in foil. You know, all the typical Halloween great things to do. Cute.
Hey, Lionel, got a split.
Love you, Bob. See you at church, darling.
Bye-bye.
Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown, he's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Who's always writing on the wall? Who's always moving in the hall? Who's always throwing spitballs? Yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah. Who walks in the classroom, cool and slow? Who called the English teacher daddy? Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown, he's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Several things. First of all, these guys that are arguing about the bands, they're comparing apples and oranges. I don't see how you compare bands. You got to take the individual. I think the best drummer is John Bonham. Best guitarist, I think, is Jeff Beck. Paul McCartney on the bass, and Van Morrison singing vocals. You can't, how can you compare bands? They're different styles, it's different kind of music. I don't understand these guys. And they're arguing over it.
Well, hey, you know, it's filling time. I don't care.
Well,
they could have argued for the rest of the show.